Hey, Death Grips concert! What's up? It's a culture detective here investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to be doing a second review of the day, and it would be a very absolutely swift, quick, fast-paced album review on the new Altın Gün album, Aşk, which means love. And it's going to be fast-paced because in about 10 minutes, I have to eat lunch and go out of my apartment for class. So please understand. So Altın Gün is a Turkish rock band now based in the Netherlands, and this is their new album. I've never talked about their music on this channel. In fact, I've never talked about anything Turkish on this channel, aside from the time I watched Once Upon a Time in Anatolia last year, but that doesn't really count because that's not music. Yeah, I've known this band for a little bit. I know they have released an album like a couple years ago, and I listened to it a little bit, sort of liked it, but I didn't really give it a full listen and a full review like I am doing right now. So essentially what they do is that they take Anatolian rock music, they take Turkish traditional music, and then mix it with psychedelia, neo-psych, psych rock, and turn it into something nostalgic, throwback, vintage, yet groovy and funky at the same time, which is actually really, really fun. The first few tracks are all pretty fantastic. The album opener, Badi Sabah Olmadan, with its Anatolian guitar riffs, the use of microtone, the hand drums and synths, they're all really amazing. I like the reverby vocals and yelps, maybe a little too reverby, but it does give off the vibe of, oh, I'm in a live performance now. There's something raw about it. And in a lot of ways, this reminds you of King Giz because of how funky and psych it is, because of the use of microtones. But really, these guys, these Turkish guys, are the OG. Yeah, and it's so funny. Just a side thing, just a fun fact. In my film class right now, there's a Turkish dude, and there's another Vietnamese girl. And yesterday I reviewed a Vietnamese album, and today I'm reviewing Turkish music. And it's just amazing how after I've come to LA, with so many cultures I'm exposed to, suddenly I'm closer to all these cultures. So anyways, I digress. The second track, Su Seziyor, is a mid-paced groovy jam with moody vocals. There's a kind of a tropical feel to the groove, and I really love the funky bass as well. And Lay Lim Lay is another grooving banger, definitely a solid single to the album. I like the expressive vocals really well, and I also like the vintage 90s, 80s feel that this track has. We have Dere Geliyor, which is kind of a slow down point. The vocals sung by a female aren't as strong, unfortunately. They're not as charismatic. And the instrumentals are kind of toned down. The keyboards are kind of muted, so not really a huge fan. Following that, we have Çıt Çıt Cedene, which is a mid-paced funky track with some charismatic vocal performances. The keyboard solo towards the end of the track is off the charts. It's awesome. And then we have Rakıya Su Katamam, which leans more towards traditional Turkish music with its sour chord progressions and vocal layerings. And there's just something really admirable about a band that blends genres across cultures. It's really, really cool. And that is followed with Kanım Oy, which is another solid track. I don't have much to say about this because I feel like this album already has a few tracks that sound a little similar to each other, but it is a solid track. It is very fun. Kalk Gidelim is another slow burn track with okay vocals. The guitars and drums are kind of toned down, and the track is pretty average in my opinion, but the last two tracks are definitely something special. Güzelicin On Para Etmez. I'm not Turkish, leave me alone, I'm sorry. This track is a dreary ballad with some gorgeous psychedelic guitars that feel straight out of the 70s. I love the simple drum beat. The track is moody and soothing and serves as a good penultimate moment for the album. And the album ends off with Doktor Civanım, which starts out with the speedy sci-fi keyboards. It's like I'm listening to a Muse track, and then we're introduced to these hand claps and groovy bass. It's fun, not a very ambitious ending, but definitely a fun ending to the album. So yeah, overall, I think this is a really solid album. I'm sorry I didn't talk about the lyrics at all. I probably could have done some Google translation, but given the album title and given the musicality of the instrumentals on this album, I feel like I don't need to dive too deep into the lyrics without, enjoying the groovin music on the album. So yeah, I'm giving this new Altın Gün album Aşk a decent 7 out of 10. So have you listened to the new Altın Gün album? Comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.